Okay, when you're ready, feel free to start the run and all that stuff as usual.
All right, cool. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it because we're trying to cram this in a little bit. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. For those of you who maybe have played this game, notoriously difficult game on the 64. Everybody had a lot of problems with it. There are two characters you can play as, Ignatius, Nadia. We're doing Ignatius, which is the character I main in this game. Let's get right into it in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're just going to be going through, well, honestly, a lot of like areas in London and England and such in this game. This game's kind of based in that region of the world. And yeah, as you saw though, right at the start there, we immediately went through a wall and we're just hopping around in a void. So that's what a lot of this game is. There are no walls in this game. It is worth mentioning that this game was released on PlayStation, N64, and PC. Has a lovely community of runners behind it. So anybody who might be interested in checking this game out, highly recommend. It's a really fun, short speed run that has a really nice community behind it. And there's, several versions to play on. So yeah, this level here, super short, just already done. Look at that. It's it's pretty crazy how fast this run flies by, especially, people who played this growing up with how difficult of a game it really was. But yeah, basically every level in the game other than the boss fights, and yes, there are boss fights. We'll be seeing some of those. Actually, we'll be seeing one here in just a moment, and I will need quiet time for it as well, which is worth mentioning in case, because I have to do a little bit of counting. But yeah, so here we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's Sewer Snake, the first boss. Generally known as one of the most casually difficult bosses in the game, except for we make very short work of it with a completely normalized setup that a runner found just a few months ago, actually. And completely and utterly broke that boss in the best way possible. And it's really pretty to watch as well. We're having a little bit of problems getting out of bounds here in India Docks, which that's kind of typical. India Docks can be a bit weird at times. Okay, scratch that. Very weird, I guess, in this situation. We're getting trolled pretty hard with the cliff here. Not a big deal. We'll get through eventually. There we go. Okay. So yeah, India Docks is actually one of the shortest levels in the game when you finally do get the clip. That's it. Sometimes the clips are a little strange, and the way they work is I'm pausing the game, and I'm holding forward on the D-pad right before I do. And Ignatius is getting just a little bit of a boost out of bounds, like during the pause, essentially. You'll also notice that there is 2 bars on screen. There's a red bar on the bottom and a blue bar on the left. Red bars are health, or kind of red-orange, I should say. And the blue bar is adrenaline, and it's basically just a fancy timer system. Once it drains all the way, it starts draining our health. The way you fill it back up is you fight things. It's gonna be a non-issue in this run if I'm being completely real. So this is Hampstead Heath. We hate this level on my streams because it kills a lot of runs. So we'll see what happens here. If we do end up killing a run, I do have the level select code enabled. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is we won't kill the run. We'll be able to just jump right back in where we left off and not really lose much of anything. So we're going to come to this corner and, oh wow, nice. Really good Hampstead Heath as a whole, actually. Yeah, 28 is quite superb. Given I haven't played this game in a couple weeks, this is quite nice. I was just grinding this game recently for a really nice world record. Broke the 12-minute barrier fairly recently. So some of it's still pretty fresh compared to Elmo's and the Shadowgate run earlier this morning, which was pretty scuffed, all things considered. Whoa! So you'll notice there I got a little nervous and kind of went to the left. The reason for that is if I go above that geometry to the right there, we would have fell back into bounds, which we don't want to do. We want to fall into bounds over here. And oh no! Okay. Sometimes the enemies can get a little strange in this game. They're pretty cursed as a whole. The hitboxes for them are awful. They tend to just bash on you and do really weird stuff. So this is City. You know, really good name for a level. Just City. Never really tells you what city. I'm assuming we're in London, but a little hard to tell. This level has a new route as well that just started getting implemented maybe like 3 weeks ago. So this route I'm doing here is pretty fresh. Discovered by a newer runner named Mild Goth Daddy. What a great name. Alright, now we're in Smithfield, which is another really short level. This level can get a little strange, high level to play sometimes. But yeah, we got a second try clip, that's really nice. Then we're going to be going on to the second boss, Snowman. Now, Snowman is one of those things that can go really wrong really fast. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. This is one of those bosses that if you're not fresh on it, it can go really sour, like really easily. So we'll see how I do. Okay, I got hit by that one snowball. That's not ideal, but we can cope. Alright, we should be more or less okay. We'll let him throw those two. And that one, and then we'll hop back, and then we'll hop over. Excellent, excellent. Really good first part of the fight. All we gotta do is get 2 more pieces of dynamite. And we won. You don't even actually have to hit Snowman with the dynamite. You just have to, you know, throw it on the ground, and it makes the building collapse on him. So, that's pretty cool. Pretty decent Snowman, honestly. A little safe, but, no massive blunders going on there, by any means. So, coming here, we're coming into Regent's Canal. One of the levels with a lot of water. There's a lot of water in this game, which you know, I guess if it's based in the London area, that sort of makes some sense. But then again, I guess India Docks is kind of an outlier in that theming. But yeah, like every other level in the game, we're just hopping into the void blindly. Then we're going to go to London Zoo. Which, if I had to pick a least favorite level, this one's probably it. Just, generally kind of isn't the funnest stage in the game at all. Although this one's went pretty well. We got a second try clip. And we got to do one more clip here to clip back into bounds in the level, and we got a first try. That was a 23-second London Zoo with that route. Really good, actually. Okay, now we're in Marylebone. And we're going to play it a little safe here. I'm going to grab this item here. That's some health. I don't think we'll need it, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and, you know, oops. Marylebone's really short, though, as well. Slip out of bounds, come straight to the end. Then we'll be going to, I believe, Bloomsbury. Indeed. Oh. Odd. Only that clip goes well. And I'm going to be doing a little subtle time save here, where I'm going to actually come like this and side hop to the end. And the reason for that is there's a bunch of flame on the screen if you turn around the other way. And the particle effects from the flames make the text crawl at the end of the stage go super slow, which we don't want, because we're doing a speed run. So this is Pimlico. This level has the longest out-of-bounds navigation in the stage. And one thing I did kind of forget to mention is if we go the wrong direction when we're out of bounds and we end up way outside of the map, the game just crashes. So when you're just hopping into the void, trying to get from one place to another, oh wow, okay, it's pretty important to you know, be a little bit safe with your lines, I would argue. So this is our boy Jose. Everybody say hi, Jose. Jose's pretty cool. You normally kill him by hitting some switches and stuff. But we got a quick kill where, look at it, he's still moving but he's dead. That's interesting. We have a quick kill where we use a berserker saw on him and we just hit him once. So, and the way that works is some enemies in the game have a thing called cuttable, meaning they can be sort of hacked into bits or whatever. And anytime you use a berserker saw and hit an enemy with that active, the monster or enemy in case just dies. And Jose is the only monster with that state active. Because the way you normally kill him is you just sort of enclose him in some spikes and he gets slashed to bits. So we're picking up a weapon upgrade here for the final boss, which is coming up really shortly. There we go. It also gives us a bit of a health upgrade, which isn't really needed, but you know, it's appreciated. It's quicker to pick up the weapon upgrade anyway, so you know, nothing wrong with some health upgrades, not in the slightest. And then here we are on the very last level before the actual final boss, Westminster 2. I gotta say, that's the first time I've seen that happen. That little red bat thing that was in bounds managed to snipe me out of bounds. Never seen that happen. I'll be honest, pretty darn solid run as a whole. But here we are at the final boss, Crowley. There's 2 phases. Phase 1, we gotta fight those little red bats flying around. In Phase 2, we fight him proper. Phase 1 can get a little hairy. See what happens. It certainly got hairy. Ooh, maybe it didn't. Nice! I recovered it. Pretty cool. Alright, now we fight actual Crowley. And, Crowley's pretty weird. Crowley can go bad really easily. Notice that Cyanide has asked in chat what is world record. World record is 11:31. Yeah, so what we really want to do is kind of...
I hate to break it to you, but this isn't the world record run.
I didn't know. I knew it wasn't good. Nice, Crowley. Real classy. So what ideally happens here is Crowley kind of just gets stuck in the wall. But by the way, time's coming up when I behead Crowley, and time.
Oh, hang on, where's my thing? There we go. We'll call it about 12 minutes and 30 seconds-ish.
Oh yeah, that's solid. That's certainly solid. But yeah, that's Nightmare Creatures. It's a very short, glitch-heavy run. There are glitchless categories. There are 2 characters you can play as. Community's real nice. Highly recommend checking those guys out and what they got going on, including myself with that. But yeah, thanks for just, you know, having me again for an impromptu run. A lot of fun.
You're welcome, no worries, and we'll see you tomorrow for your actual long run of Tales of Vesperia. For anybody who's in the chat right now who wants to watch the Tales of Vesperia run, it's the first run of the day tomorrow about 9 o'clock in the morning. British time, by the way, that is. I don't know what it is in everyone else's time zones, but if you go to the schedule, that'll be translated to your personal time zone automatically. But there is an incentive for it to see the barely black bikini, or barely there black bikini. There we go, that's the one.
It's barely
so
a bikini.
If you want to donate to that, then yeah, it's barely a bikini, barely there black bikini. If you want to see that incentive be met, then be sure to get those donations in through the donation page. The link has been posted in the chat, and that is available to anybody who would like to donate to that. It's currently raised £10, but we need £50 if you want to see it. So be sure to get those donations in and include the incentive in your donation as well. You can also include a poll in your donation as well if you want to. There are 2 polls for the next run. in the Ratchet Deadlocked run. So there's the language choice, which currently French is winning, or you've got the HUD colour, which hasn't got any donations in it yet. So if you want to include something into that as well, then be sure to do so. There is also the Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, or Ratchet & Clank 3 run, which is happening tomorrow, as well as the final run of the marathon. There is the language choice and choosing the skin as well for that one as well, if anybody wants to donate to one of those polls too. So there's quite a lot of choice available on the donation page. !donate in the chat will bring you up the link to the donation page, and you can include one of those incentives in your run, in your donation if you want to. As well, you can donate bits. Watching adverts as well helps, and also subscriptions to the channel. They also count towards the donations we eventually will be giving to EveryoneCan at the end of the marathon. So thank you to Kefka for the impromptu run just now. We're going to go over to our next run, which is going to be Ratchet Deadlocked or Ratchet Gladiator. NG plus no load cancel by the Sag Bean. So we're going to go over to that in about 5 minutes time. So sit back, relax, and be sure to watch that. And Kefka, do you have any final things you'd like to say before we finish?
Not at all. See y'all again tomorrow. Again, thanks for having me. A lot of fun.
Okay, thank you very much for taking part. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.